Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Basically what I will show you to do is how to set autopilot on the default X-Plane 11 737-8. So what you can do first is set your cruising altitude in this knob here, and it will appear up here, but in this case I will just put 32,000 feet, and that will just save your cabin altitude alarm. But this is how to actually do the autopilot. So above all your screens is the autopilot panel. There's all these buttons here. It may seem quite complicated, but once you know how to do it, it will be quite easy. So first things first, you're going to want to turn this switch on, and the same for the other side. And once you've done them, you're going to turn this switch, and there's only one of them because there's none on the other side. So this is going to be your cruising altitude, or what you want your altitude to be, but like I said, I put 23,000 feet. So once you keep going to my cruising altitude, which was 32,000 feet, when you take off you can set your autopilot and it will start climbing to 32,000 feet. Moving on to this switch here, this will be your cruising speed, but I'll just put 280 knots. So that'll be my cruising speed, and this is your heading. Now, if you look on your map here, this number is your heading. So we are currently facing 060. So if you were to put 060 on here, then if you turn the autopilot on, then the plane will face this way. But however, if you set it to, for example, 81, then the plane will turn to 81. There's also this tiny little knob behind it, and this will depend on how steep you want your turning. So this will be the less steep, and then all the way at 30 will be the most steepest. So if you want to make a very quick turn, then set it to 30, but if you want like a slow and casual turn, then set it to 10, or if you want it in the middle, just leave it in the middle as it is. There is this little knob that is literally to the left side of the autopilot panel. So if you switch it, it will give you different little sections. If you look on the map, it will give you like a different visual of it, as you can see here. But if you go on VOR, then this is where course comes in handy. As you can see, if I put it somewhere, you can see it move on the map. So if I hold it, it will just keep turning. And there's another one for this map as well, because as you can see, this is only for this panel here. So you need to change the course for that panel right there. But that's only if you want to like set something up without turning. But this is the main switch here for if you're wanting to turn. So if you do actually want to turn, then you're going to have to switch this to whatever you want. Right, so I'll just give you a quick little tutorial here. So I'm just going to quickly take off at around 140 knots. But because there is no weight on this thing, I can probably do less. But that's something you can customize yourself. If you want to have payload, then just set it before your flight, and then you'll have more weight added to your aircraft. So I'm about to take off, as you can see, but for some reason my yoke isn't centered, but I'll fix that later. But once you're up in the air, if you click that button right here, and then that should engage the autopilot for you. But basically, you're going to have to fiddle with these buttons. So if you want to go up to 32,000 feet, you're going to have to click level change, and then it should start going up. And if you want to go to this heading, because as you can see, you're currently at 65. If you click heading select, or HDG select, then as you can see the plane will start turning. And the course doesn't mean anything, so if you want you can just get rid of it. As you can see it and now you don't. And once you make it to your cruising altitude, then that should automatically switch to that, which will keep you at 280 knots, and it should automatically click altitude hold, so once you get to 32,000 feet it will just hold. And that is how you set the autopilot. So, and if you want to disengage it, you can just click this button here, and then once you hear that alarm, then your autopilot will be disengaged. But if you want to engage it again, then just click that, and then you should be fine again. But make sure you click this again, because if you click it, it will stay down. So you'll have to click it again if you want it back up, and then you can just enable the autopilot again. Anyway, that's it for today's tutorial. I'll see you in the next video.